Alright, hello. This is a Genesis deck profile. Something I never really thought I'd be interested in or posting content for, just posting out at all. It is a Neo Spacian Hero Genesis list that I've been taking to locals, and it's been hilariously strong. So we'll go ahead and get into it. We have to play 3 Neos. If they banish your 2 copies, half your spell trap lineup doesn't work, so you need the 3. 2 Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos. When the opponent's monster declares an attack, I summon it from my hand. It can't be a shrug in battle. When it's special summon, I get Polymerization or a spell trap that mentions the Elemental Hero monster's card name. And then during my main phase, I can shuffle in the deck to special a vanilla Elemental Hero from deck. I've been torn between 2 and 3. I might put 3 back in the main. This card does a lot, so ideally, it's weird. It's a weird deck to balance. Next, 2 Winged Kariba level 6. This is a Kariba monster, but it's also a hero and a favorite card, so it's really searchable. And the goal is to get this to the grave. It's a light, so it's another light target to fuse with, and I'll get to why I'm playing it. Next, 2 Stragos. This is 6 points. I only need the 2. I only, I'm not turbo, I need 3. I need to see ASAP. It's just I'll dig and I'll find it eventually, so you only need 2. 1 Lithgoid Soldier. We're using this to fuse off, and then we're going to draw 2, discard 1, so it helps really help the deck start moving. And I've thought about another, but it's a hard once, and so it's not the biggest priority. Often Neo Spacians. 2 Grandma. This card isn't playing it, and it's hilarious. It just demands negates or interaction. It's I'll literally am just I don't know what to do. It's a normal Grandma, and they're oh, I have to Velar that. We'll get to why I'm playing 2. Don't need 3. Likely want to normal summon other engine or other pieces. 2 Dark Panther. What it does is it just steals the naming effect until the end phase. And that hasn't come up, at least in a meaningful way. So I do need 2 of this for the name. And I don't see myself cutting it to 2 because or cutting it to 1, and I love it at 2, and it's never been a really big problem. So 1 Aqua Dolphin. Looking at hand is kind of funny, but it's a little weird. It's also just the name for spell trap lineup. And I have done the hand rip combo, summon it, blow up a card in their hand, contact these into Aqua Neos, blow up another card in hand, put this, or tag out, bring this back out, blow up a third card in hand, but it's not really viable. It's just a name. 1 Air Hummingbird, Life Steal, or Life Gain, and another name. You don't need more than 1. And then the last 2, 1 Flare Scarab and 1 Glomos. Again, just more names. We do play Flare Neos, no Glow Neos, but again, names. We just need names for spell trap lineup. Last 3 monsters, Crosskeeper, 3. You can discard it, and you summon an Elemental Hero Neo Spacian from hand or grave. But if you summon a monster from grave, it is has its effects negated. And then the really strong part, on top of being an extender, is when you summon an Elemental Hero Fusion, you banish it from your grave, you draw 2, place 1 on bottom. So again, gets the deck moving, and we play enough cards where I want to play 3 and so that I can see this card. That's all the monsters. 3 Pod Greed, 90 points. Nothing else in this deck is pointed, which is hilarious, so I'm just allowed to 3-pot greed. I thought about Grist with Cherokee, but I wasn't seeing it enough at 2, so I was just like, we'll go back to 3-pot greed. 3 Yang Engage Neo Space. I send a Neo Spacian and Elemental Hero, 1 from my hand and 1 from deck, to the grave. I summon a Neo Spacian or a level 5 or higher Elemental Hero, and add Polymerization from deck or grave to hand. This card gets custom. This card foolishes the card, dumps a potential deck card from hand, summons Spirited Neos, grabs Polymerization, and then the Spirited Neos will trigger on summon. So you need to find this card ASAP as like a good starter. And I would not play less than 3. 3 Miracle Contact. This card is broken. Not once per turn. I can summon a fusion that mentions Neos. And I can shuffle it from my hand, field, or grave. This card is insane. Really helps enable combos and like breaking boards. So maybe you could play 2, but I love this card at 3. So no complaints. 2 Ian Shuffle. You shuffle Elemental Hero and Neo Spacian I control into the deck, and then you summon a Neo Spacian or Elemental Hero with a different name, and then you can banish it from your grave. Put back an Elemental Hero and a Neo Spacian, or an Elemental Hero Neos from grave to deck to draw 1. So this is another way to get your combos started. The hard ones kind of really hurts. And so I've had it at 3, and it's nice, but like I draw into it after already using both effects for the turn, so it gets a little awkward. And so I don't know if I play more or less. 2 Contact out. Shoutouts $5 common. For effect, you return a Neos fusion, and then if all materials listed on that monster are in the deck, you summon them. And this is how you dodge Imperm Veiler on your big contact fusions. And this card's insane. We'll get to like, I play Nebula Neos, and this card is just like nonsensical and like the best way. And I don't see a need for 3, but like this card has helped me in so many game states that went from like I have a chance that like I'm ensuring I'm gonna win. 1 Neo Space. You do need this. I'll get to why later. But this does keep your board from going away at the end phase. And that's really relevant because I don't enjoy the thought of investing all my resources into a fusion that will just dip and potentially wipe my entire board with the opponents. And so, yeah, you could play a second. I have a way to get like guaranteed, so it is an option. 3 Hero lives. If you have no monsters, pay half. Summon a 4 lower E hero from deck. Card is helpful. We'll see, because like I could cut it and I probably wouldn't miss it all that much. So it's like it's a love-hate. And like the sense that like it does enough, but it also doesn't do enough sometimes. So definitely a cuttable card. Covert Contact. This card's insane. If I have no monsters, I send a Neo Spacian, 1 from hand, and a second 1 from deck to grave, and then you draw 2. So once returned, gets you the missing pieces you need, and you need to play 3. It's another draw 2 that also like thins the deck by 3 cards, so have to play it. For the memes, Saboteur the Philosopher's Stone. If you have a Winged Karibo monster in your grave, pay half, search a Polymerization or Fusion spell card. And then it's a non-once return search. And so it's been like a funny idea I've been toying with. You can then banish 3 copies and have one monster gain attack equal to a monster with the highest attack on the field. But we play enough fusion spell trap, or just spells, that I wanted to test this because we have a searchable hero that is a Winged Kariba monster, and so this card is suddenly a lot more playable. But it's also bricked me, and you could cut it, and like you wouldn't miss it. But we'll see how I go about it. 2 Legacy of a Hero. Return 2 fusions from your graveyard to the extra deck. That lists a hero as material, and then draw 3. It's a hard one's activation per turn, but it's really silly because like I had literally I think 2 cards in hand against a Runic Eldritch player. And I was like, alright, draw for turn. I'm like, I have a board, and I signed this on the board, draw 3 cards. He's like, oh. So yeah, it's a really funny card, and the retrained fusions do tribute themselves for effects, so it makes this card a lot more viable. And you cut it to 1, don't play 3. Want a favorite hero? It's an equip card that's searchable by the retrained Flame Wingman. Target level 5 or higher hero. While a card is in the field zone, you can't target the equipped monster, and I believe it gains attack equal to its original defense. So it comes to hero, makes it somewhat protected, and at the start of the battle phase you can activate a field spell from deck. So that's why we're on the 1 Neo Spaces, because ideally I search this mid-combo. And then when the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you send this to the grave, and then it's allowed to attack again. And so, ideally, I like this for getting Neo Space onto the board, and it also does help just like end games. So, I wouldn't cut this, but you don't need more than 1. 1 Miracle Fusion. We play Sunrise, so this is searchable, and then it becomes a combo piece, like all hero lists. But it's not like a priority. I've gone back and forth on this card, and it's like the most recent addition that like I could go back on and I wouldn't miss it. So definitely another like cuttable card. Through Polymerization, another love-hate relationship, but Yang Engage Neo Space requires you to add this, and there was a game where I was holding both of them, and I couldn't resolve it, and like it cost me the match, so I have to play 3. And it's really recursible, so it's not all that bad to like discard, because you can get it back. If you want, you can play 2, but that was a rough game. 3 Fusion Deployment. Reveal Fusion in your extra deck, and summon from your hand or deck 1 of the materials, and then your fusion locked from the extra deck. So this can summon your Neos and your Neo Spacian monsters, and this card is mandatory. And could play 2, but you'll see it less, and like it'll become noticeable. And, like summoning a Grand Mole from the deck, which is hilarious. You can summon Neos and not have to worry about like a level 7 vanilla that's like really hard to summon sometimes. And so this card is like you gotta play 3. And then our last spells, 3 Fusion Draft. This card's insane. You discard a card and reveal a fusion in your extra deck, and then you add 1 of the materials listed on it from deck or grave to your hand, except the card you discarded. And then you can add a second target if the first monster you added was a vanilla, and then your fusion locked from extra. This card's insane. This card ensures that I'm able to fusion summon the big triple contact fusions, and so you gotta play 3. This card has been insane. I've never once looked at this card and been like, oh, this is terrible. I love this card, so keep this at 3. For extra deck, Elemental Hero, Flame Wingman, Infernal Rage. You search your favorite hero. equip card, and then you sack it off to summon a fusion, or just a 7 or lower from deck. But we're always going for fusion. Always gotta play one. Trying the new Voltic Thunder, the Thunder Giant Retrain. It'll block res the board, accept itself, and then you trigger it to revive a hero. Another fusion that'll send itself for an effect, and so I wanted to test it. Shining Neos Wingman. Neos plus a Wingman fusion. The Miracle Contact, or the Flame Wingman Retrain, is a target or material that can be used to summon this, and this card reads insane, gets massive, and so like we gotta play it. 2-bird Neos. It's kind of just to get your fusion plays started, and so you can get your draw effects from like the Crosskeeper. Right? Yeah. You could potentially cut this to 1, and you wouldn't be all that torn up about it. Gains 100 for every Neo Spacian and elemental hero in your grave. And then when you destroy something in battle, you search a card that mentions elemental hero Neos. So it's a decent engine piece. It was amazing for the time it came out, and it's okay now, but like you're losing your battle phase to do that, so could cut to 1. Sunrise for the combo. Wake up your elemental hero for the Miracle Fusion play. So it's so confused with Aqua Dolphin and Crosskeeper. So some utility there because they're not elemental heroes, and it makes it a little awkward for our contact fusions. 1 Air Neos. That's why we're playing the Air Hummingbird, is so we can summon the funny haha card, and Sabotail with the Philosopher's Stone, and a hero lives, pay half. And so you're able to like get this potentially like starting at like 8,500 or more if you activate more than or multiple pay half cards. And so it's just like playing into that with like a hero lives and Sabotail. That being said, Sabotail is an engine, and you can kind of just do whatever with the extra. I just like, you can keep this in, and then you could cut Sabotail. The link group of level 6 is maybe a hero lives, so just playing into the aspect of that. Aqua Neos for hand ripping, really funny. Grand Neos, a bounce, and you do target, but it does bounce something as an ignition effect, and so that's pretty funny. 1 Grand Neos gains 400 for each spell trap on the field, and it's just like a mini boss that can get big, so may as well play it. And then all 4 of these are valid targets for fusion draft, and so they'll guarantee you searching 2 cards. For our triple contact, 1 Storm Neos. Neos plus Air Hummingbird and Aqua Dolphin, and it's a heavy storm. And then if it shuffles itself back, it returns all cards on the field to the hand. Or no, to the deck. I just wanted to test it because it is heavy storm, and back row is a lot more meaningful in Genesis because you can't play hand traps nearly as much, and so this is like an answer. The reason I built this 2 Nebula Neos, it's Neos plus Grandmole and Dark Panther on summon. Draw cards equal in number of cards the opponent controls, and negate the effects of 1 face-up card on the field, both in 1 effect. And then if it returns to the extra deck, banish all cards on the field face down. no exaggeration, I drew 27 cards off of 3 activations of this. Not Western Return on the draw effect. Card's insane. Like, this is the longest I could build around. And, like, it's a lot of fun, it's hilarious. I sit there and do, like, 40 actions per minute, and, like, I'm just deep drawing and then trying to OTK. And so, like, this card alone makes the deck worth messing around with to have a fun time. And the last boss, Elementary Hero Cosmo Neos. Neos plus 3 different Neo Spacians with different attributes. When it's summoned, it's a spell speed 4. Your opponent can't activate cards or affect the remainder of the turn, and they cannot respond to that activation. And then during the end phase, if it shuffles itself back, it Black Rose's their board. This card is not pointed at all. And I've had opponents go, "That's pointed, right?" And I'm just like, I start laughing. I'm just like, no. There's like 2 pointed cards in the entire list. That's like a permanent engine. And this could also be a build ground. But I enjoy threatening this and then getting disruptions out of the way, and then summon Nebula Neos and draw, like, I've drawn 8 cards, I've drawn 9 cards, I've drawn 5 cards. So it's a really fun idea. And draw is 25 or however many points, and so you're just allowed to deep draw. Sideboard, same ideas. Third Spirit Neos, Prism into special, and then dump a name, Beatrix as a name, fuse it off, or contact fuse with it, because 5 beast rolling. So, potential. 3 Neo Space Connector. This is a lot more ideal engine piece that you could cut like Saboteur and Winkrevo level 6/4. You normally use special a Neos or a Neo Spacian from deck and defense, and then you tribute it and revive one of those monsters. And just an instant engine piece that I might go back to playing, so take it with a grain of salt. 2 battle figure. The people will clear boards, and you need to guarantee a way to not die, and this is one of those ways. So they could clear a direct attack, use special, and the battle phase. And Spanish will lose the field. I guess you could play it like, I like this as a hand trap because it ends a phase and like it guarantees I'm not gonna die. Versus like something like Nibiru where they can still like set up a board. Team Neo Spacian. I've gone back and forth on this card. I have it at 3, I have it at 1 in the main. But it ends your turn because when you fuse, you can't special for the rest of the turn. It protects in the grave, but and like that's good, but I really dislike the like it's a good lock, but it really hurts this deck because this deck can definitely do a lot. And if you want, like, you could put this in, and then like this could be like the brain diffusion play where you sign this down as your last card and like you give yourself an outlet. And it's really searchable, so not necessarily a bad card, but also not like one of the better cards. Third Ian Shuffle, just playing with the idea, and you also like side these in and cut Saboteur for games 2 and potentially 3. 1 Skyscraper, 1 Fusion Recycling Plant. Other field's supposed to activate with the favorite hero. Utility, and then if I need to make a giant fusion even more, so why not? And then 2 favorite contact to potentially Cosmo Neos or Cosmo Neos or Nebula Neos on the opponent's turn. Ideally, probably Nebula Neos and just turn off their monitor. So, a lot of potential, a lot of fun ideas. Don't be afraid to share. And kind of just one of the more niche decks, like very niche, in that like nobody's paying attention to it for obvious reasons, but literally nothing is point taking engine, and there is like the world is your oyster with this list potentially. So feel free to share, try it out, let me know how you do, and just remember, have fun with it and just see what happens. Have a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way if you made it.